We're back Tuesday, people talking sports.
You know it.
Yeah, man, I'm still sick.
Yeah, man, wow.
Yeah.
Quite a disease.
This is lingering.
Yeah.
Luckily, I got NBA 2K18, so I'm playing that while I'm sick.
Okay.
I'm getting older. This is how I know I'm getting older, that I only enjoy the front office part of the game now. I used to like playing. Now I'm just like, let's see who we can trade. I fast forwarded 2 years just to re-sign Porzingis to a long-term deal. I was like, ooh, that felt good. You can play as the all-time Knicks in that game.
Oh, wow, it's amazing.
So it's like, that's what we're missing.
Yeah.
That's what Melo needs. He needs a rim protector like Willis Reed, I think.
Right.
That's all it takes to make us contenders, just time travel. How you doing, man?
Man, I'm good. Yeah, man, you're doing great. Sick.
I'm killing, man.
Yeah, you should get deathly sick more often.
We got a great show. We got Mike Breen here.
Oh, yeah, man.
A great guy.
Dude, that guy, yeah, he's like a guy in Mad Men.
Yeah, he's a throwback.
Yeah, he really is.
He came up to me and he was like, well, now you guys are going to get a lot of Knicks tickets. I was like, I don't know about that. I can't get into this building with my ID card, so I don't know. I don't know if they're going to be throwing out courtside tickets.
Yeah, I got 4 for the Liberty, but that's like it.
And it was fun. More on People Talking Sports with Mike Breen. So I'm here with one of the voices of New York, Mike Breen. Thank you, man.
Welcome. I know it's a late welcome.
It's a late one.
Great to meet you in person finally.
You too, man. I've loved watching you on the games.
All the broadcasts.
All of them.
Unfortunately, a lot of losses recently.
It's been tough. We don't talk about that around here.
It will change.
Yeah. So, I mean, NBA, this is kind of an exciting year. Do you think the Celtics, do you think they have enough to make it interesting?
They do. Kyrie's just, he's unstoppable. You can't guard the guy one-on-one. And now you see him get away from LeBron, who obviously had to have the ball in his hands, and you get a chance to see him even better. And I think he's going to have something to prove. It's not easy to say you don't want to play with LeBron James and the Cavs, so the spotlight's going to be on him.
Yeah. It's interesting because I've never seen a trade for a guy who averaged 29 a game in Isaiah for a guy who averaged 21 last season, and everyone's like, the 21-pointer guy is so much better. It seems unanimous that everyone's like, he's a better player.
2 years ago, it's not a question.
Right.
But what Isaiah Thomas did, he had one of the greatest seasons in the history of the Boston Celtics.
Right.
Think about that.
Right.
Think about all the names over the years. And he put in that, and I mean, they loved him there. Did you see that article he wrote for the Players Tribune?
I loved it.
Holy mackerel.
That's a human being.
Yeah.
He's a passionate guy.
Talk about love of the sport, loyalty, the whole thing. You rarely see guys admit that type stuff. So that's why he was loved there. They'll love him in Cleveland. You just hope he's healthy.
You don't see that type of vulnerability in print, at least, from athletes. Like, how often do you see a guy say, like, yeah, it hurt me? He talked about talking to his children.
No question. So honest. Like,
is
the vulnerability is
favorites?
a hard thing to do. Like, I need you to give me something vulnerable about you right now.
Right now?
Yeah.
I've weeped into hotel room pillows after terrible gigs. Is that good?
That's very good. It shows you're human.
I'm human.
Yeah.
I'm not a robot.
You know, every player's different how they react to stuff like that. I'm amazed he was able to do what he did. But that's one of the reasons why he fell in love with Boston so much, because they just put their arms around him.
And why wouldn't you? Like, a guy that overachieves, like, you feel that. Like, in New York, we fell in love with guys like John Starks, who didn't have the size and became this force. You should fall in love with that.
It's like Steph Curry. Same thing. People love him because he's not this huge, massive athletic machine.
Right.
He's kind of skinny.
Yeah.
Yet you relate to him a little bit. He's a 6'3" guy that you probably could see on the court on the weekends that you could play ball with.
Right.
That just has these.
It wouldn't be a very good game. But
no. I think you could stop him.
I could say, you know what? I agree.
I've seen some tape of you.
We'll get to that in a moment. It's tough to be an NBA fan now because, I'm a Knicks fan. We're competing with these super teams, and there's just not really, it doesn't feel like any hope right now. When they were talking about trading Porzingis for Kyrie Irving, I was like, no way. Because I don't see us competing with Golden State. With Porzingis, I at least see in 4 or 5 years we could be legit.
Well, he's Porzingis, in my opinion, is a franchise type player. He's got that potential because not only does he have the talent, but he's got the drive. He's got the work ethic. He doesn't want to be good. He wants to be great. So you have your franchise player. Now you have a couple of other younger guys around him. So you build with them the next couple of years. And obviously you're not going to win a title. You hope to get into playoffs, get them some playoff experience. But then if you get to be, a 40, 45 win team, now star players say, you know what? I love these young guys. If I join them, we could do something special.
Right.
And there's still, I think most players still feel there's no better place to play than the Garden. People like to make jokes, oh, it hasn't been the Mecca in a long time. Not according to the players. This building still has the respect of the players. And the beauty of basketball is you get that one star and surround them with others, and now you need really at least two stars in the league. Now you get a veteran star to come in with Porzingis and Hernan Gomez and the young guys. Now you have something. A big thing this year coming in is, Ntilikina, I've never seen him play in person. I've seen the tapes. The tapes are nice, but until you see somebody in person, it's hard to feel.
Yeah.
He's 19 years old, so it's going to be tough for him at first.
Especially for a point guard.
Right. But I had a guy who follows the European game really closely said this to me. He said the team that he played on in France, if they played North Carolina, which was the national champion last year, they would beat them by 40.
That's what I heard.
That's how much better the competition was.
Because they're men on that team, right? I mean, you had Tony Parker come out of that team, right? Nick Batum, Rudy Gobert.
So it's all, it's relative in terms of NBA experience, but he's played with grown men before. So I think he's.
Although you could say the same about Darko Milicic, I mean,
poor
he
Darko.
played with men. Poor Darko. But this kid, Darko didn't have the desire. It didn't seem like he liked basketball. It seemed like he was immature and stubborn, whereas Ntilikina is at least saying the right things. Like Porzingis, his maturity, I remember when Phil kind of called him out and said, after he drafted him, he said, I don't know if he's got the body for an NBA player. Like after he drafted him, he negged him, and then Porzingis was like, I know what he's doing. Like to have that mature response.
A kid from Latvia,
yeah,
being able to deal with the pressure of playing in New York,
right,
handling all that stuff. I don't know if I've ever seen a European rookie handle that better.
No.
It just, he gets it. He really gets it.
He's a special player. It's just about, can they put it together? You're right to say it's about making the jump. Like, have reasonable expectations. Knicks fans were notorious for getting too hyped up. If you make that jump from like 30 to maybe 40 wins this year, if we can get like 5 to 10 more wins, we're a little more attractive. The next year, 5 more wins. You never know.
That's the key.
Because
is there anything in this?
I don't think so.
No, there is.
They are decorative.
Now, is this been in for like the last 6 guests that you've had? Can I drink this?
We've had a long day.
All right, maybe I'll pass.
The what? It's fresh water?
Fresh water.
Fresh water. Yeah. I walked on to an Albany pickup game. I was doing a gig in Albany, and I walked by. I was wondering if you could give an analysis on.
All right, I need the. So you're just walking by a pickup game.
I just eaten lunch, so I was full.
You're full.
I had
dressed to play basketball.
I was wearing shorts. I usually wear shorts.
Okay.
These are my hangover shorts. They're not my basketball shorts.
Okay.
So I'm walking by.
What level of players are you going up against?
They're kids, but they were advanced.
Like, are they 9-year-old kids or
No, they're like 16, 17
okay,
probably. They were some of them were pretty good. I mean, I'm distributing.
All right, unnecessary flash immediately. That's the first thing I see. An inefficient pass, although an unselfish pass.
Unselfish.
So just on one play, we see you're looking for your open teammate. Good court vision. And you get the assist.
And the high five.
So winning is more important than you than scoring. So already you're a coachable player.
Yeah.
All right, but this is just one play. Do you have any other plays?
No, I like to quit while I'm ahead. You know what the thing is? It's like I'm a system player, I think. I think I would excel in the Popovich system. I want to get people involved. I would compare myself to a young John Wall. Even though I'm a few years older than
What's in yours, though? That's when you start
vodka. A lot of it. Mike Breen, thank you so much for sitting down with us, man. It was great to talk to you.
Finally, great to meet you, Sam. Good luck with everything.
Thank you, man. We're back on People Talking Sports. We have a great panel. First off, all his friends are in the NBA and all of mine are in AA. Chris Broussard is here. Also, Anthony DeVito, his Comedy Central special comes out October 6th, and apparently he's having a picnic on his shirt right after this game. And we have the Sin City Cobra back / the Excitable Boy. That's his new nickname.
That's me, baby.
James L Mattern.
The Excitable Boy? I change it every time. I'm unpredictable, man.
Well, we have a hoops expert here in Chris Broussard, so we got to talk hoops. I mean,
let's do it.
The Knicks got Jarrett Jack. which I think is the final missing piece to put us over the Warriors.
Hang the banner now. Hang the banner.
I feel it. Non-guaranteed, but I like him. He's a veteran presence. 2 years ago, he averaged 7 assists. I think he's a solid mentor to Ntilikina. That's all you can look at now.
You're looking too deeply into it. He's a good mentor. You got Ramon Sessions too.
Yeah.
So
Sure.
I don't know if
Who's
Sessions
getting more
will
minutes,
start.
Jack or?
Sessions should. And Jared was a very good player. And you're right, professional. He's great for the young guys because he can teach them how to lead. He's a real pro and he's a winner.
His name is so cool, he's going to keep a job. Like he'll be 55 on the bench because someone's going to want someone wearing their jersey with the name Jack on the back. That's cool.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Jared Jack. It's probably the coolest alliteration name ever in sports. Close is Reggie Roby. Rest in peace, Reggie Roby. All right, punter for the Dolphins. I saw him kick a ball in the air in San Diego. Hasn't landed yet. That's why the team moved. Fact, everybody. Fact.
And that's the excitable boy.
I'm the excitable boy!
I see why they call you that.
You better believe it, baby.
I do.
Yeah, I love it. I think Sessions, Baker, Jared Jack. It's like 3 Men and a Baby. For Ntilikina, like raising him.
Stephon Marbury, who we've been talking about a lot lately because he wants to make a comeback. He says that he's a Hall of Famer, which he might be right because it's your entire career, right? He's like a reverse Sabonis kind of.
Yeah, look, Marbury, for a long time, he was one of the only guys, along with like Oscar Robertson, to average 20 points and 8 or 9 assists over your career. Now, the last few years of his career changed that, but he certainly was a Hall of Fame talent. I always used to say, if he had stayed with Kevin Garnett in Minnesota, they could have been like Stockton and Malone, and he undoubtedly would have been a Hall of Famer. The problem with Steph, he messed up a lot of situations wherever he went.
Right.
You know, New Jersey, came back to New York. Things are clicking with Keith Van Horn, and then they get rid of Van Horn. You know, and it didn't finish well here.
Yeah.
You know, and so, but he had a very good career, but probably not a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
This is why he is a Hall of Famer. It's not an NBA Hall of Fame. It's the Basketball Hall of Fame, and they're going to want to put in a dude who blew up in China, and it'll be a big deal. Chinese dignitaries will come. This will be a big deal. You look at me crazy, but it's an all Hall of Fame. You're going to get Honduran players, like guys who scored 100 points in games. It's for everybody. They induct like high school guys.
You're right.
Guys you never heard of who scored 50 a game in Cleveland.
Nick Young is going to finish his career in like Sweden or something, and they're going to be
a
like,
Hall of Famer.
You know what? This guy really took the Oslo Stroopwafels to the promised land.
They're going to put someone in who's very good at NBA Jam. That's like that's going to happen. Or 2K. I'm punishing him for them shoes, though. Yeah, I don't like it.
He wore those with the Knicks.
That's a perfect
Don't you?
segue for our
I
next
don't like 'em.
conversation,
Yeah.
which is the Lonzo Ball.
Okay. Oh,
Magic says he will buy Lonzo's shoes.
Very different.
Very
Weren't
different.
Marbury's like $15?
Yes.
Yeah.
And Lonzo's are $500 for
His dads are going to be $1,500. The Lavaricis, he calls them, are going to be $1,500
Is that true?
for real.
That's
yeah.
a real thing, the
Well,
Lavarici.
the younger one, LaMelo's are $395.
It's a bargain.
Lavarici's $1,500.
Yeah.
I think these look whack, though. I think Magic should buy all of the pairs he can find in America and then burn them in the center of the Staples Center. Good for you, Magic, okay? As a Celtic fan, I love you for
The
that.
all black ones look whack. I thought the ones that Lonzo wore in Summer League for one game or whatever it was, those looked pretty good. I thought they were
His
improving.
worst game of
The
Summer
white
League.
ones. Yeah. True. That wasn't good for the brand.
Wasn't good for
They
the
need
brand.
to talk to him. They need to talk to
He
him.
also Magic buying your stuff is not a good. That's not a good brag. He just spent like how many million on that yacht vacation with his family? Did you
Well,
see
he
that?
does that every year.
And then he tipped them out with Magic jerseys, which is better than what Michael Jordan did. Hanes T-shirts. It was ridiculous.
Very true. Very true.
We got more people talking sports right after this break. We're back on People Talking Sports with Fox Sports NBA analyst Chris Broussard. This is an interesting story. I kind of like this one. Wade and LeBron are training together. I've been watching this on his Instagram stories. LeBron's.
Yeah.
We have a picture of Anthony and I actually doing the same. We look at. Why do you get to be LeBron?
I don't know, man.
LeBron is. Wade's looking a little
You
small.
take
in
either
that.
one of those
I'll take
bodies,
either.
though, right?
Yeah. I mean, look.
I really like your gold chains.
Gabrielle picked it out for me. And, this is a little. I love it, but it's also like that one of them is going to get hurt, and it's going to be Wade. Don't you feel that
in
way?
the workouts or
No,
in the season?
because it's like when a couple
Emotionally.
gets back together and you're like you're happy, but at the same time you're like, Wade's gonna get burned again.
Well, there's talk that there could be a reunion.
I think it's gonna happen.
That Wade will go to Cleveland.
Don't you think he's gonna get bought out and that's gonna happen?
It could, very well could. I know that Cleveland's high on his list if he gets bought out.
Where else would he
I
go?
think he would help with Miami. There's been talk about Miami.
Because they said they offered
just
a
to
bench
get
role.
retired there.
But they insulted him. They said they offered him a bench role, and it's like you don't offer the best player in your franchise history a bench role.
Well, don't you think LeBron's the best player in their franchise history?
He's the
Not
best player, but he
hurts.
hasn't accomplished the same that
Dwayne was a
What he
lifer,
meant to that
essentially
team
a
over
lifer.
the years.
Yeah.
I give you that. He's Mr. Heat.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's Mr. Heat. But I would like to see him in Cleveland. I think he'd make it more interesting, get them a wee bit closer to Golden State, but still not good enough. I like it.
Well, I look at this, like, think about how important pros in the Olympics has changed, like, the history of basketball, right? Like, they wouldn't have got together the first time if that didn't happen. And now it's going to be a second time, right? Like, back in the day, it would have been college players. You wouldn't have all these dudes hanging out going, you know what's fun? Playing with you every day? Yeah, I'll see you next time we're free agents. Like, this has changed everything. Would the Heatles have happened without the Olympics? Like, think about how important it makes the 92 Dream Team even that much more important. It kind of showed players that going forward, you didn't have to hate your competition, and you know what? Why can't superstars play together? Changed everything.
Right.
They're about to play together again.
Look at
As a
Isaiah
Celtic fan,
Thomas,
boo,
too.
baby, boo.
I wonder if do you think too if Leitner thought about that going into the dream team? You know what I mean? If he's just like, I bet me and Clyde Drexler are just gonna hit it off. We're gonna be best friends. It's gonna be crazy.
Marshawn Lynch fined $12,000 for the middle finger, sticking it to corporate. I thought it was cool. $12,000. I love the people that are like offended by this in football. They're like, I want to watch people's brains wither away without any naughty words. You know?
Yeah, I do get it. But did he do it to the fans or
I don't
other
know.
players?
You never know.
If
with
it's
him.
other players,
it could have
it-
been to the sun. You know, it's like who the hell knows? Marshawn
Like
Lynch.
when
shining
Mutombo
on
had to
me.
do it to the fans. Remember when Mutombo would do the finger, but he would do, they had changed it so we couldn't do it to the player, he had to do it to the fans.
Yeah,
It took all the sting out of it. The fans were like, yeah, we don't care, you didn't block us.
You make a great point, though. I mean, these guys are trying to beat each other's brains in, and we're worried about a curse word or a
Right.
symbol or whatever gesture.
This is the most Raiders thing you can do. Like, basically,
Oh,
if you
yeah.
think about it, Al Davis was a walking middle finger. So why not? So basically, he's just shining two Al Davises to the fans. Like, remember him? He built you. All right.
Yeah, I like too. I heard where it's like if he does it again, he gets fined further. Does it again, gets fined further.
yeah.
Then the end of it, they were like, yeah, then I'll have to answer to the commissioner. Like, oh no, Roger Goodell, oh my God. That's like when you get sent to your rooms and it's just video games and cake. Oh wow, huh? Would this be a nightmare, huh?
We got more people talking sports right after this break with Liz Gonzalez and another thing. We're back with Liz Gonzalez and another thing.
Just really happy week 2 of the NFL season is finally over. That was a brutal week, aside from the Marshawn Lynch thing, which was probably the highlight of the weekend for me. It was just
Him dancing.
disappointing. The Packers.
Well, 'cause you're a Packers fan.
Yeah, the Packers looked
I thought it was a great
horrible.
week.
The Cowboys looked terrible, and I hate the Cowboys, but it was like Ezekiel is on my fantasy football team, and he didn't put up anything.
Yeah, he was horrible.
Well, did you lose by 0.6 points to your cousin who hasn't changed her team in 3 years? Because I did.
I did not.
I did, and I had Matty Ice, and I had Devontae Freeman, and I was so close and so far, and so yeah. Great
Fantasy
job.
football will like ruin the rest of your week. Like I'm just ugh.
Rest of my life, this is my female cousin who's a doctor. She's already better than me, so this is terrible.
All you have is fantasy football.
She's got 3 kids. She's half my age. She's doing great, and here I am.
Well, the one good thing that happened this weekend is finally, after months of silence, Kaepernick for the first time spoke out about the state that he's presently in. And he told the New York Daily News, I've never stopped. I'm ready right now, working out daily. This I personally confirmed a few weeks ago when I saw him at the gym. And yes, he looks ready to go. Chris Carter, after spending some time with him this weekend, also says he looks good. And he's not the only one talking. Tom Brady, of all people, has said that he deserves a shot. Aaron Rodgers has said that if it wasn't for his protesting, he would be on a roster. And now NFL teams desperately need quarterbacks. The Browns really don't have a quarterback. Seattle, with that offensive line, Russell Wilson, who knows how long he'll play. And Houston has the problem. So, is it Kaepernick's time finally?
I hope so. I can't say that with certainty. I was saying months ago that I think as players get injured during the season, as you said, he will be picked up. But a lot of football people told me, but you got to bring him in, teach him a new offense. Will he be ready? They said if he was going to be signed, it would have been during training camp so he could learn some things. But, I think the groundswell, you mentioned a few of the high-profile players who are saying he should be in the league. Obviously, he's got tons of support around the country, and I just think that's going to keep getting bigger and bigger the longer he's out. So hopefully they can pressure one of these owners into signing because he is being blackballed. I have no doubt in my mind it's all because of the program.
And do you think the owners are talking?
No, I don't think it's a conspiracy. I don't think it's like they all got together and said, no, we're keeping this guy out. I just think each of them is, although I don't think they should be, but each of them is scared of what it may do to their fan base.
I feel like if Kaepernick would have done this when he was red hot, when he came off the bench that season that San Francisco went to the Super Bowl, and that offense was flying with Harbaugh, that no one would care.
No question.
But he seemed to diminish. Now, he's still good enough to have a job, but he didn't transcend. I always said this, if this was Russell Wilson last year doing it, no one would have a problem.
Yeah.
Sure.
No
Marshawn, it fits his personality, and it's just, he's great. He's beast mode. And so no one said anything about it. But the fact that, you didn't transcend, you declined as an athlete, you don't get to protest. You don't get to tell me how to think.
But even if he declined, he's better than Deshaun Kaiser. He's better than Watkins.
But it's going to be a circus if you bring him in. It's what the owners will say.
He's a better player. At some point, winning games has to be more important than whatever talking is going to happen around.
There's no question he's good enough to be in the league, but is he going to transform your franchise into a winner? That's the question. Or will he just be a pretty good player? I thought when he first took the knee that it was more courageous because he was a second string.
Yes.
They could have cut him the next week and nobody would have thought a big deal about it. The fact that he did that when he was expendable made me have even more respect for him.
All right, thanks for watching People Talking Sports. Chris Broussard, thank you so much for joining us, man.
Enjoyed it, guys.
James L Mattern, the Sin City Cobra.
Yeah.
The excitable boy. Liz, Anthony. More on People Talking Sports later this week. We've got great guests, Allen Houston. A lot of great people coming through, so keep watching. Cool.